Chosen one, something within you has changed and you can feel it. The way people react to your presence, the way their eyes linger a second longer, the way energy shifts the moment you enter a room. It is all a reflection of what has been awakened inside of you. This is not coincidence, not luck, not a temporary phenomenon. It is the emergence of something powerful, something that has always been within you, waiting for the moment you were ready to wield it. Your high sexual energy is more than just attraction. It is more than admiration. It is a force, one that operates beyond words, beyond logic, beyond anything that can be explained in simple terms. It is something that moves through spaces before you even speak, something that is felt rather than seen, something that affects people on levels they do not fully understand. Women sense this more than anyone. They feel it before they recognize it. They respond to it before they can explain why. They become drawn to you not because of what you say, not because of what you do, but because of what you represent, a presence that is unlike anything they have encountered before. This is the awakening, chosen one. The moment you realize that you are no longer the one who seeks attention, but the one who commands it effortlessly. The moment you understand that attraction is not something you chase, but something you cultivate within yourself. The moment you see that this energy, this presence, this undeniable force that makes you magnetic is not something outside of you, it is you. But with this realization comes something even greater, the responsibility of understanding what to do with this power. Because power without awareness is dangerous. Power without discipline is reckless. Power without wisdom will lead to chaos, to confusion, to a path where you become a prisoner to the very energy that makes you powerful. You are not here to waste this gift. You are not here to become another man who lets his influence control him instead of the other way around. You are here to master it, to use it with intention, to harness it not just to attract, but to create, to elevate, to shape interactions with purpose rather than blind impulse. This is the first step, chosen one. The realization that your energy is a tool, not just a reaction. That your presence is an offering, not just something to be consumed by those who notice it. That you are not just someone who attracts others, but someone who decides how and when that attraction is used. You are no longer unaware of your power. Now the question is, how will you wield it? Chosen one, now that you understand what has awakened within you, now that you see that your energy is more than just a fleeting moment of attraction, but something that lives within you and moves through you, you must begin to refine it. The key to mastering this power, to making it work in your favor rather than against you, is understanding the art of presence. Presence is what separates those who are merely noticed from those who are felt. Presence is what distinguishes someone who is attractive from someone who is undeniable. Presence is what takes raw energy and transforms it into something controlled, something refined, something that works for you rather than controlling you. And true presence, chosen one, is not about doing, it is about being. It is about the way you carry yourself, the way you move through spaces, the way you exist without needing to seek validation. It is about the way you listen, the way you engage, the way you command attention without needing to demand it. Because presence is not something you speak into existence. It is not something you force. It is something you cultivate within yourself so deeply that it becomes second nature. Women respond to presence before they even realize they are doing it. They feel it in the way you hold yourself, calm, composed, grounded, unwavering. They notice it in the way you do not seek attention but attract it effortlessly simply by existing in a space. They are drawn to it not because you are trying to impress, but because you do not need to. And this is where many fail. Many mistake presence for arrogance, mistaking the need to prove oneself as a sign of confidence. Many try to be loud, try to take up space, try to force reactions, thinking that attraction comes from external effort rather than internal mastery. But you, chosen one, now understand that true presence comes from quiet certainty. It comes from knowing who you are without needing to convince anyone of it. It comes from recognizing that your energy alone is enough to shape the way others feel around you, that your words, your movements, your very existence create ripples in the world around you before you even make a conscious effort to do so. This is the art of presence. It is the ability to walk into a space and change the dynamic without needing to perform. It is the ability to engage in a conversation and make the other person feel more alive simply by how deeply you listen, by how intently you exist in the moment with them. It is the ability to make someone remember you long after you have walked away, not because of what you said, but because of how you made them feel when they were in your presence. This is why presence is the most powerful tool you will ever cultivate. Because when you have true presence, you never need to chase. You never need to force anything. You never need to convince anyone to engage with you. Because they will feel it. They will be drawn in. They will respond in ways that are beyond their control. Not because you manipulated them, not because you used words or tactics, but because your energy made it impossible for them to do anything else. And this chosen one is what will separate you from all the rest. Not just the ability to attract. Not just the ability to hold attention, but the ability to command space simply by existing in it. And when you master this, you will never need to seek attention again. Chosen one, now that you understand the depth of your presence, now that you have begun to refine it into something deliberate rather than accidental. Now that attraction no longer feels like something you must earn, but something that simply follows you wherever you go. You must face a truth that many fail to recognize. This power is not just about attraction. It is about responsibility. Because when your energy becomes this potent, when your presence becomes something that others seek out, when people begin to feel something in your presence that they do not experience elsewhere, you are no longer just living for yourself. You are now influencing the emotional state of those around you. You are now affecting the way people see themselves in your presence. You are now shifting the dynamics of every interaction, whether you intend to or not. And this is where many men falter. They become consumed by the power of attraction without understanding its weight. They revel in the attention, in the admiration, in the ease with which others respond to them. And they forget that every action they take leaves an imprint. They forget that when people are drawn to you, they are not always aware of why. They do not always understand what they are responding to. They do not always have control over the way they feel around you. And when someone does not understand the force that is pulling them toward you, they become vulnerable. Some will begin to seek your validation without realizing it. Some will begin to measure their self-worth based on how you respond to them. Some will crave your presence not just because they are attracted to you, but because being near you makes them feel something they cannot generate within themselves. And this, chosen one, is where your responsibility comes into play. Because power that is wielded without awareness leads to destruction. Because energy that is given without intention leads to chaos. Because attraction that is taken for granted leads to emptiness, for both you and the people who experience it. You must now move differently. You must engage not from a place of impulse, but from a place of deliberate choice. You must decide who deserves your time, who earns your attention, who is aligned with the direction you are moving in. Because just as others are drawn to you, you too must be selective about where you place your energy. This is the difference between those who lose themselves in their power and those who rise above it and master it. You are no longer here to seek attention. You are here to choose what is worthy of yours. Chosen one. Now that you have begun to recognize the responsibility of the energy you carry, now that you see how it affects those around you, now that you understand that attraction alone is not enough, you must take the next step, separating surface-level interactions from true connection. Because attraction is easy. Connection is rare. And now that you are no longer simply reacting to the world, but shaping it with your presence, now that people respond to you without you even trying, you must begin to discern who is truly meant to be in your space. This is where most men fail. They assume that because someone flirts with them, they must engage. They assume that because someone is attracted to them, they must reciprocate. They assume that because someone wants their attention, they must give it. But you, chosen one, must see beyond the moment. Because not everyone who desires you is meant for you. Not everyone who flirts with you is capable of meeting you at the level you exist on. Not everyone who enjoys your presence is ready to experience the depth of what you have to offer. You must now ask yourself, what do I truly want? Because if you do not define that for yourself, the world will define it for you. You will find yourself caught in cycles of attraction that lead nowhere, interactions that feel exciting but ultimately leave you unfulfilled, experiences that are stimulating but never truly meaningful. And this is where true mastery begins. Because the greatest power is not in being wanted by many. The greatest power is in choosing the few who deserve you. The ones who see beyond your presence and into your mind. The ones who are not just attracted to you but aligned with you. The ones who do not just enjoy your energy but elevate it. This is the difference between a man who is endlessly desired but never truly fulfilled, and a man who walks with purpose, knowing that his energy is only for those who can meet him at his level. And when you move like this, you will never again feel the need to chase validation. You will never again waste time on interactions that drain you. You will never again question whether someone truly belongs in your life. Because you will know. And once you know, you will never settle for anything less. Chosen one, now that you have begun to understand the depth of your presence and the weight of your energy, you must take the next step toward true mastery, the mastery of yourself. Because without self-discipline, without control over your impulses, without the ability to guide and direct your energy with precision, you will find yourself being pulled in every direction by the desires of others. You will become a slave to attraction rather than its master. And that, chosen one, is not what you were meant for. Many men reach a point where they recognize their power, where they feel the shift in the way people respond to them, where they see the endless opportunities laid before them. But rather than refining themselves, rather than sharpening their focus, rather than choosing with purpose, they allow themselves to be consumed by the very power they once sought to control. They indulge in every interaction, entertain every moment of attention, spread their energy thin until they no longer own it. It owns them. But you must move differently. Because true mastery is not in how much attention you receive, it is in how you direct that attention. True power is not in the number of people who desire you, it is in your ability to decide who is worthy of your presence. True influence is not in how much energy you generate, it is in how you protect that energy from those who seek to drain it. This is why self-mastery is the foundation of everything. Because if you do not have control over your own desires, someone else will control them for you. If you do not understand how to discipline your attention, you will give it away carelessly. If you do not take ownership over the energy you exude, you will allow others to dictate how, when, and where you use it. And this, chosen one, is where most men fall. Because the world is filled with distractions. It will tempt you with the illusion of endless pleasure. It will offer you validation at every turn, hoping that you will become addicted to the feeling of being desired, hoping that you will forget who you are and become nothing more than a reaction to the attention you receive. But you are not here to be consumed by this power. You are here to control it, to refine it, to use it as a tool rather than letting it use you. And that requires discipline. Discipline in where you place your time. Discipline in who you allow into your space. Discipline in knowing when to engage and when to walk away. Because not everything that is offered to you is meant for you. Not everyone who flirts with you is someone who deserves access to your world. Not every moment of attention is worth indulging. Mastery is in restraint just as much as it is in action. It is in knowing that just because you can does not mean you should. It is in understanding that real power does not come from taking everything that is given. It comes from knowing what is truly valuable, what is truly rare, what is truly meant for you. And the moment you embrace this discipline, the moment you decide to take full control over your energy, your interactions, your desires, you will step into a realm that very few ever reach. Because while others are lost in their need to be seen, you will remain untouchable. While others waste time proving themselves, you will remain unbothered. While others lose themselves in the attention they receive, you will remain rooted in who you are, unshaken by anything that does not serve your path. And that, chosen one, is the beginning of true power. Chosen one, now that you have taken ownership over your energy, now that you have disciplined yourself in its use, now that you have learned the difference between power that is wasted and power that is refined, you must understand the final lesson. Energy must flow in harmony. Because the highest level of mastery is not just in attracting others, it is in knowing how to create a balance of energy in every interaction you engage in. This is what most people fail to understand. They believe that attraction is about dominance, about overpowering, about imposing their energy onto others rather than allowing it to flow with them. They believe that influence is about control rather than understanding. But true mastery is not in force, it is in alignment. It is in recognizing that every person you interact with carries their own energy, their own desires, their own rhythm. And if you cannot move in harmony with them, if you cannot create a space where both energies complement rather than compete, the attraction will never reach its highest potential. This is why some men, despite being attractive, struggle to hold attention. They enter a space and try to dominate rather than lead. They speak but do not listen. They move forward but do not observe. They focus on what they want rather than what is being given to them. But you, chosen one, must move with awareness. You must learn to read energy rather than simply reacting to it. You must learn when to push forward and when to let things unfold naturally. You must learn when to engage and when to let the other person come to you. Because when you master this balance, when you understand that energy is meant to be exchanged rather than forced, when you recognize the flow of attraction rather than trying to control it, something extraordinary happens. Women begin to feel something in your presence that is unlike anything they have felt before. They feel safe, yet excited. They feel challenged, yet at ease. They feel magnetized, yet free. Because you are not just pulling them in, you are allowing them to step into the moment willingly, fully, completely. And that, chosen one, is the ultimate secret of attraction. Not control, not force, not manipulation, but alignment. Because when your energy moves with someone rather than against them, when your presence is not just something that overwhelms but something that enhances, when your interactions feel natural rather than forced, you will never have to seek anything again, because the right energies will find you, the right connections will gravitate toward you, the right moments will unfold effortlessly, not because you chased them, but because you created the space for them to happen. And this, chosen one, is what separates those who are merely attractive from those who are truly unforgettable. Chosen one, as you continue to step into your power, as you see how your energy transforms every interaction, as you watch the way others respond to your presence before you even speak, you must now face a truth that most men ignore. How you choose to use this power will define not only your impact on others, but also the depth of your own fulfillment. Many who reach this level fall into the illusion that because they are desired, because their energy naturally pulls others in, because they can have what most men struggle to attain, they are somehow above the need for integrity. They begin to see attraction as a game, as something to be manipulated, as a way to take rather than give. But you, chosen one, must move differently. Because real power is not found in how many admire you, in how many chase your attention, in how many become intoxicated by your presence. Real power is found in how you choose to engage, in the mark you leave on those who experience you, in the way you elevate rather than simply consume. Attraction is a currency, but it is not infinite. Influence is a privilege, but it must be used wisely. Attention is addictive, but it will never be enough if you do not understand how to channel it with purpose. You must now ask yourself, do you leave people better than you found them? Or do you simply take what is given and move on? Do you use your presence to uplift, to inspire, to create moments that add meaning to someone's life? Or do you simply engage because you can, without thought, without care, without considering what lingers long after the moment has passed? Because make no mistake, chosen one, people remember you. They remember the way you looked at them. They remember the way they felt in your presence. They remember the shift in their energy, the way their heartbeat changed, the way their confidence either grew or crumbled in response to you. And this is why you must move with awareness. Because when someone experiences you, they are experiencing something rare, something they do not encounter often, something that shakes their perception of themselves and the world around them. Some will seek validation from you without even realizing it. Some will crave your attention not because they want something from you, but because being near you makes them feel more alive. Some will hold on to every moment you shared long after you have forgotten it, replaying the way you made them feel, wondering if they will ever experience something like it again. And you must decide, what will they take away from you? Will they leave your presence feeling more confident, more empowered, more connected to something real? Or will they walk away feeling hollow, feeling used, feeling like they were just another moment in a life that is filled with too many fleeting experiences? This is what separates those who merely attract from those who build something lasting. Because real power is not about taking, it is about giving in ways that cannot be measured, in ways that make an impact, in ways that create something that exists beyond the moment. And when you move like this, when you use your presence with integrity, when you understand that the true test of power is not in how many desire you, but in how deeply you affect those who do, you will begin to experience something greater than attraction, greater than admiration, greater than anything you ever thought you were seeking. You will begin to experience true connection. And that, chosen one, is what makes your power truly unstoppable. Chosen one, now that you have mastered the external, now that you have learned to refine your energy, to command attention effortlessly, to move with awareness and discipline, you must turn inward. Because the final truth that so many fail to realize is this: the way others respond to you is nothing more than a reflection of what already exists within you. Attraction is not just about appearance. It is not just about charisma. It is not just about presence. It is about who you are at your core. About the energy you carry when no one is watching. About the way you see yourself long before anyone else does. If you still seek validation, if you still require constant admiration to feel whole, if you still feel the need to prove your worth through attention, the world will reflect that back to you. You will attract people who are also seeking validation. You will engage in connections that feel exciting, but ultimately leave you empty. You will experience admiration, but not depth, desire, but not fulfillment. But if you have done the work, if you have built yourself from within, rather than relying on the reactions of others to define you, then the world will respond in kind. You will no longer attract people who only want to be near you for their own validation. You will no longer waste time on interactions that do not align with who you truly are. You will no longer feel drawn to the superficial, because you will recognize that the real treasure is in the ones who see beyond the surface. This is why, chosen one, you must take every interaction as an opportunity to look inward. If you find yourself surrounded by people who seek to take rather than give, ask yourself, am I truly giving to myself, or am I still looking for something outside of me to fill what is missing? If you find yourself feeling unsatisfied, even when you have attention, ask yourself, am I chasing stimulation, or am I seeking real connection? If you feel as though your energy is being drained by those who do not value it, ask yourself, have I set my standards high enough, or have I allowed my presence to be too freely given? Because the external world will always reflect your internal state. And the moment you fully embrace this, the moment you understand that the way others see you is simply a mirror of the way you see yourself, you will take your power to a level that is beyond attraction, beyond desire, beyond anything that can be measured. You will become untouchable. Not because you are distant, not because you are unavailable, but because you have become the kind of man who does not need anything from anyone. And when you need nothing, when you are whole within yourself, when your energy is no longer something that must be fed but something that simply exists in its most powerful form, the world will give you everything. Not because you seek it, not because you chase it, but because it has no choice but to flow toward the man who has truly mastered himself. Chosen one, now that you have come to understand the power of your presence, now that you have witnessed the way others respond to the energy you exude, now that you have refined your ability to command space effortlessly, you must embrace a truth that will define your path forward. you must become highly selective. Because at this stage, the challenge is no longer about attracting. That part is effortless. The challenge is no longer about proving yourself. You have already become undeniable. The challenge is no longer about being wanted. You are wanted. But by whom? That is the question that separates those who continue to elevate from those who become lost in the sea of endless attention, of fleeting admiration, of empty connections that serve no real purpose. Many men fail here. They become intoxicated by the sheer volume of attraction, by the excitement of knowing that wherever they go, eyes follow, that whenever they speak, people listen, that whenever they engage, there is a shift in the air. And instead of refining their path, instead of choosing wisely, they allow themselves to be spread thin, to be consumed by interactions that do nothing to elevate them. They indulge in everything, and in doing so, end up with nothing. But you must move differently, because selectivity is the highest form of self-respect. It is the mark of a man who understands his own value, who knows that not all who desire him are worthy of him, who realizes that the company he keeps, the connections he invests in, and the people he allows into his world are all direct reflections of who he is. At this level, chosen one, it is no longer about who wants you. It is about who earns you. It is about looking beyond the surface, beyond the immediate attraction, beyond the momentary spark of excitement, and asking yourself, does this person add to my life, or do they simply entertain me? Does this connection challenge me, inspire me, align with the vision I have for myself? Or is it just another fleeting distraction, another temporary high, another moment that will pass without depth, without meaning, without leaving anything behind? Because the highest form of power is not in being able to have many. It is in knowing that having many means nothing if you do not have the right one. And when you embrace this mindset, when you shift from seeking quantity to seeking quality, when you elevate your standards to the point where only the truly exceptional can step into your world, something profound happens. Your presence becomes even rarer. Your energy becomes even more refined. Your value becomes something that is not just recognized, but deeply felt by those who are fortunate enough to experience it. And in doing so, you move beyond the ordinary, beyond the predictable, beyond the cycle of attraction for the sake of attraction. You step into the realm of true fulfillment. Because now you are no longer just engaging with people, you are choosing those who align with you at the highest level. And when you move like this, chosen one, you do not just experience attraction, you experience something that most men will never know. Connection that is powerful, rare, and unforgettable. Chosen one, you have now reached the point where most men never arrive. You have walked through the fire, you have refined your presence, you have mastered the art of attraction. And you have come to understand that true power does not come from being wanted, but from being intentional with who you allow into your world. And now, the final realization must settle within you. Attraction was never the destination. Because the truth is, attraction is the lowest level of power. Any man can become attractive. Any man can learn to improve his confidence, his presence, his ability to engage with others. Any man can become magnetic in the way he carries himself, in the way he interacts, in the way he holds himself in a room. But not every man will rise beyond attraction, because most will stop here. They will become consumed by the pleasure of being desired, by the excitement of knowing they are sought after, by the endless cycle of interactions that feel thrilling in the moment but leave them empty in the long run. But you, chosen one, must not stop, because you have seen the illusion. You have witnessed how attraction, if left unchecked, becomes nothing more than an addiction. A loop of endless attention that never truly fulfills, never truly satisfies, never truly brings what you are ultimately searching for. You have outgrown the need to be validated by how many admire you. You have moved past the illusion that more is better, that attention equals value, that desire is the same as meaning. And now you must step forward, beyond attraction, beyond surface-level engagements, beyond the endless cycle of admiration, and ask yourself, what do I truly want? Do you want to be another man who is endlessly pursued but never truly known? Do you want to collect fleeting moments of excitement? Or do you want something real, something powerful, something that exists beyond the moment, something that aligns with who you have become. Because this is the truth that few ever realize. Attraction without purpose is just another distraction. And if you are not careful, you will spend your life chasing moments that mean nothing in the end. But if you move forward with clarity, with vision, with the understanding that attraction was never meant to be the end goal, you will unlock something greater than anything you have ever known. You will begin to seek alignment instead of attention. You will begin to recognize that your presence is a gift that is not meant for everyone, but only for those who are truly capable of meeting you where you are. You will begin to move with an energy that does not just attract, but builds, expands, creates. Because the man who masters attraction but never moves beyond it remains a prisoner to his own power.